And hey folks, me again, back again with another video to anchor back to the brutal anime from the 80s and 90s. So hope you enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok and Discord, and chit chat. Let's begin, shall we? Sorry, I had to adjust my camera there.
Amazing, ultra-violent anime from 80s and 90s, the golden era of anime. The 80s and 90s anime scene were rife with some ultra-violent stuff that the American media companies wouldn't dare to distribute. This was typically the effect of the VHS era when anime found its way to the underground film market. Some ghastly ideas were taking shape, and some plot lines were a bit too twisted and morbid for comfort. There was a wide range of genres from post-apocalyptic horror to nihilistic cyberpunk stories, and the only thing common in them was the ultimate bouts of gore. In this video, we will take you through some of the craziest ultra-violent anime from this golden era of anime. If you are easily offended or disturbed by extreme forms of graphic violence, now is the time to look away because this is going to be one mean ride.
Before we go into our list, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click from you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's begin.
Apocalypse Zero. In a post-apocalyptic Tokyo, monsters have taken over, and two siblings named Harara and Kakugo have been trained to fight these beasts. They have even been given the fortified armored shells to help them in their battles, and these exoskeletons were made from the souls of deceased warriors. The troubles multiply for Kakugo when his sister Harara succumbs to the evil side and embarks on a mission to wipe out humanity.
So basically, Dr. Doom
Now,
then.
Kakugo has to defeat his own sibling in an excruciating battle. This is one of the most hated anime titles, but we feel that harsh criticism is somewhat unfair. It's true that the manga version has a much bigger and more comprehensive storyline that has been chopped and edited to fit into this short narrative. Even then, the characters and exciting plot make it pretty enjoyable for the viewer. We particularly love watching the evil nature of Harara, which was so effective in this anime. The protagonist, Kakugo, has an impressive stoic personality and will remind you of Kenshiro. One of the reasons that made Apocalypse Zero acquire a lot of hate is the rampant violence and sexual imagery. There are moments where blood and guts splatter everywhere, and there is one particularly
Sexual imagery,
scene
whatever,
where is
hipsterella.
squished by a giant mutant. The short series isn't perfect and barely covers 1/5 of the actual.
That's why the term is called adult audience for a reason.
Unusual character designs, the cult atmosphere, and the tension-filled storyline. This can be a fun anime to watch.
He don't face one escape. Better make up your mind fast. Hurry, follow him.
Demon City Shinjuku. Rebi Ra is a diabolical psychic who has opened a portal to hell. Now the city of Shinjuku is falling apart because demons have been unleashed. Kiyoya's father died fighting the crazy Rebi Ra, and now Kiyoya has taken up the responsibility of finishing what his father had started. He battles his way through the deadly monsters and also protects a young woman from the dangers in the hellish city. His ultimate goal is to defeat Rebi Ra, but will he succeed in this impossible mission? This is certainly not for those who look for some food for thought in their anime. The rather simplistic plot is all about excitement and is filled with violence and vulgarity. There are some endearing characters who make the viewing a fun experience, and one of those interesting characters would be Mephisto, the mysterious character who helps Kiyoya but is uncertain which side he is on. One of the drawing points for this anime was the quality of animation that can put some of the modern day anime to shame. The vibrant dark color that has been used is perfectly suited for the theme, and the fight scenes are fun to watch. The aesthetics and atmosphere will keep your eyes glued to the screen. This is one of the earlier works of the famous anime director Kawajiri, and while it does lack finesse, it shows glimpses of his genius. Watch it for the cool demons and tons of action.
Alright, amigos, let's just cut the funnies. Drop your weapons and get your hands in the air, or you ain't gonna live to
So this one's wearing a Jason Voorhees mask
Mad
then.
Bull 34. John Estes is a hardened cop and known as Mad Bull for his harsh and extremely violent methods. His intentions are always righteous, but his manner of execution is often rather unpoliceman-like and often gets him in trouble. A
Unpoliceman-like.
rookie officer joins the
Whatever,
force
hipster
and is
raw.
partnered up with the Mad Bull. Together, they try to make the city a better and safer place, but it's no easy task with crime running high. This 4-part anime series is full of political incorrectness that can easily offend uptight audiences. However,
Whatever.
it's a pretty funny action
Tell
comedy
hipster
series
raws
that
to
you
go
will
fuck
love if you
themselves.
don't take it too seriously. In many ways, it's somewhat like an anime version of Lethal Weapon, and it's full of graphic violence that is not for the squeamish to handle. Mad Bull is quite a character, and it starts off with him having differences with his partner over his methods. Slowly, just like in buddy cop movies, the mismatched duo manages to work together, and the action heats up. The anime series is bulked up on misogyny, racial
Misogyny,
stereotypes,
racial
and anti-heroes
stereotypes.
who have a minimum moral compulsion. It shows the Japanese warped view of American culture, and
Right,
as much as you
strapped
can
to a
criticize
swan.
the trashy narrative,
That's funny.
you will enjoy the thrill ride for sure.
Hang on, I'll skip it.
Experience powerful hair care for a total transfer.
Devilman, The Birth. Akira
Devil
is just
Man.
another high
You know the
school
band,
student and often
that was
faces the
featured in
torment of
that.
the bullies.
Right.
During one such encounter,
The
he
Japanese
is saved
metal
by his
band
childhood
Anthem.
friend
Yeah,
Ryu,
they
and
are.
head to a nightclub to catch up. A strange event in the nightclub shows
Ah,
that
the
some creatures
fire!
transform into monsters when provoked with violence. A great demon named Amon saves them and possesses Akira, which makes him a devil man. He retains his compassion for fellow humans and acquires the strength of a devil. Can he save the humans from the evil demonic forces? Based on the manga Devilman, this OVA film marked the debut of the director Umanosuke Ida. While it is an impressive effort, there are some glaring issues with the pace of the anime. Some scenes do take the spark out of the storyline, where Akira and Ryu are just staring at each other for no good reason. Where the anime shines is the artwork that has gone into the making. The landscapes towards the beginning are scenic, and the character sketches are simply spot on. We also love the look of the monsters, and do keep your heart ready for the super gory action scene at the end. There are shortcomings in terms of the bizarre dialogues or the awkward pacing, but the anime is worth your time if you are willing to enjoy the trippy, unnatural atmosphere that perfectly colorizes Nagai's iconic horror manga.
For it.
Wicked City. Peace prevails in the two realms of Earth and the Black World, courtesy of a treaty that had been forged carefully hundreds of years ago. Now it's time to renew the treaty, but some evil forces are trying their best to ensure that it doesn't happen. Taki Renzaburo and a sexy demon named Maki are given the responsibility of protecting a diplomat who is the key to establishing peace between the two worlds once and for all. An entire army of multi-dimensional assassins are pursuing them, and it will require the best of their skills to succeed in this mission. Wicked City is one such anime that would certainly get the hentai tag had it not been for a solid plotline. The makers have carefully woven the adult content within the story, and although the narrative goes overboard with the gory violence and nudity, it's still an intriguing watch. The director is Kawajiri, the same guy who made Demon City Shinjuku, and while the names might sound similar, the two animes are completely unrelated. Some gruesome moments will remind you of the horrors of H.P. Lovecraft, and visually it can be pretty unforgiving for the audience. There is also extreme sexual content alongside a partial rape scene that will give you the jitters. What makes the dark atmosphere all the more terrifying is a remarkable animation that will blow your mind. It's really tough to explain the experience of watching Wicked City, and you really have to watch it for yourself to get the hang of things.
So sure, motherfucker.
Yep, he's dead.
deadly communist terrorist group called Red May threatens peace and stability, and as a result, the secret security
Kill the
force
commie
was formed
bastards.
to tackle them. Angel is a recent recruit for an anti-terrorist squad, but strange things are happening around her. The members of Red May are dying under mysterious circumstances in the most gruesome fashion, and it seems like a third party is involved in the mix of things. Can Angel get to the bottom of things and find out who is behind the brutal killings and why? This 6-part direct-to-video anime series is a hard-hitting cyberpunk show which culminates into an uncompromisingly violent gore fest. However, it's not mindless violence, and the makers have clearly focused on aspects like plot building and character development. Conceptually, Angel Cop is unique and ahead of its time, and even with the limited resources, the presentation is praiseworthy. It's a non-stop action romp where you will witness everything from heads popping out, dismemberments, and flesh burning.
Hey, it's called Adult Audience for a reason. Deal with it.
Psychotic superhuman killers, and the vengeful cyborgs in action. There are some hilarious moments of black humor to lighten the mood, and political correctness is completely absent here. The animation quality
Fuck
is
PC
surprisingly
culture.
good for the times, and the eerie music will actually get to you. If you are up for an adrenaline-pumping action anime that tests your limits, we would recommend trying out Angel Cop. Crying Freeman. A ruthless assassin works for a secret organization and is absolutely ruthless in his actions. When an innocent young woman accidentally witnesses one of his crimes, by the rules of their business, he must kill her to eliminate any possible evidence. However, tables turn when he falls for her and becomes her protector. The local crime gang is after her life, and they are well connected with the Tokyo police. The duo will have to face all kinds of trouble and be on top of their wits if they are to survive this situation. This ultra-violent anime was based upon a best-selling manga, and the focus was on the portrait of a killer arc of the story. The protagonist is as interesting as you would find, and he gets his name from his nature of yearning to be free, even though he is programmed to act emotionless. His relationship with the young lady is the turning point, and the romantic elements in the story are pretty dramatic. Bloodshed is rampant, and Freeman fights against the attackers sent to stop him. Despite the use of colors, this anime manages to capture the black and white drawings in the manga with amazing accuracy. Later, the popularity of this anime prompted the movie Crying Freeman, starring Mark Dacascos. While the movie is entertaining as well, it can't beat the charm and brutality of this original version.
Well, kinda.
Kite. A corrupt cop uses a young schoolgirl named Sawa as an assassin. She is an orphan and is promised revenge by the crooked cop, who makes her kill people by telling her about their crimes. Everything goes as planned till the time a young teenage boy is also recruited to work as an assassin. He is supposed to assist Sawa in the killings, but the two soon develop a unique bond. As they heal each other's emotional baggage, they start to plan for a life away from this continuous stream of crime and murders. There is a thin line where some explicit anime shows cross over into the world of hentai. In the case of Kite, the line is barely even there, thanks to the graphic sexual content and violence. But in reality, it's a thought-provoking crime thriller that falls under the category of hyper-violent OVAs of the 90s. The animation quality is smooth throughout, and the detailing is pretty impressive. The fight scenes provide the viewer with some nail-biting moments, and you will relish the soundtrack that is mostly based upon jazz pieces. The scene where Sawa is fighting bodyguards in a public restroom and the fight sequence on the train will give you goosebumps. We only have one complaint regarding the short duration of this anime, which was only 2 episodes and lasted about an hour in total. If you can brave the raunchy moments and extreme gore, you have a creative cult classic that will
It's
show
called
you how
adult
taxing
violence for a
watching
reason.
anime can be.
So I don't know why y'all hipsters are having a fit over it. It's called Adult Audience for a reason.
Genocyber. In a futuristic world, the concept of boundaries among nations is
I've always
drawing
been a
to
fan
an
of
end.
classic
As the
anime from the
boundaries
80s
are
and early
eliminated, the nations
90s.
start merging. and the private armies of private corporations disrupt the peace and order.
My first taste of
The
anime
Cyber is a
was
deadly
Outlaw
combination of
Star.
psychic potential
It's
and
actually really good
cybernetics,
anime.
and it has been devised by the Kuryu group that plans to
Get it,
utilize
like
it to
it.
shift world power in their favor.
Good
But
about
it's never a
no.
great idea to manipulate such monstrosity, and soon the world erupts in violence.
I know, I was a
the likes of
weird
which we
kid.
haven't seen before.
An epileptic child.
Cyber is easily among the
Oh,
goriest and most
and you would be
traumatizing anime
surprised.
that you will ever
My
see in
mom
your
will
life.
literally try to
The
put me in
plot
every
can be a bit confusing for some, and it shows the
and
attempt to
literally
try something
basketball.
radical and new.
Oh.
This 5-part series might have some exciting content,
Oh, and Boy
but the violence
Scouts.
is off-putting for many. The scenes with internal organs scattered around and dismemberments and beheadings are not a pleasant sight, and you might be disturbed for days. The scene where children are being shot to shreds is a bit too disturbing to handle. In fact, after its release, it was banned in Japan for the questionable additions to the plot. We did, however, like the visual treatment given to this anime. The moments when cyborgs morphed into massively large mecha monsters are sights to behold. This anime is quite atmospheric, complete with its eerie soundtrack, and you can explore Genocyber as long as you have a high tolerance level. Urotsu Kudoji, Legend of the Overfiend. The human world, the beast world, and the human world coexist peacefully, but peace and order are about to be threatened. This is because a powerful demon named Overfiend is supposed to be born after 3,000 years.
3,000.
The demon will try to make the world to his liking.
Sorry, to
Will
fix
it be
my
the end
camera
of the world
again.
as we know it, or can there be a way out from this sticky situation? Have you ever watched something repulsive and yet you couldn't take your eyes off the screen? Well, this anime flick will make you experience that dilemma. The story is interesting, but the execution sometimes becomes a bit too much to handle. It's a nightmarish representation of a bizarre turn of events that are hardly explainable in a sane state of mind. We also find it pretty disturbing that some of the voice actors in this ruthlessly violent anime were children. However, there is way more good stuff than flaws in this endearing anime, and the characters have been brought to life through some innovative artistry. The English dubbing is pathetic, but we would always recommend watching it with subtitles to enjoy it to its fullest.
And then cue the ads.
There comes a time when you
I'll
start to
skip
really
this,
think about your
luckily.
body. I'm 20. It's these elbows.
You think by the time they're 20, the umbilical cord will be officially cut off? But no, not my
Violence
mom.
Jack. The Earth is struck by a comet, and following this catastrophic event,
I have a
the
fully
world
grown
order has
man
plunged into
job.
chaos. Infrastructures have been ruined, and the survivors
Learn to
are
let
either
go.
oppressed or the oppressor. In this hellish post-apocalyptic world, biker gangs and violent criminals run loose, and there is just one man to stand up to them. He is Violence Jack, the lone hope in the fight against crime. He also has an interesting method where he fights violence with more violence. As you can guess from the plotline, this anime series is a bloodbath that is certainly meant for a mature audience. It's considered to be part of the Devilman series, and the story is pretty basic. You have a protagonist who almost behaves robotically, with minimal dialogues and a couple of grunts and growls.
Hey, you can say I was born before YouTube was even a thought.
That you would actually celebrate their demise instead of feeling bad for their grisly ends. However, it's not just the violent part that keeps you shifting in your seats. The sexual nature of some of this violence, rape scenes in particular, are unpleasant and can be intolerable for some people. It's 3 episodes of absolute mayhem, and you might just give it a try if you have the stomach for such content.
This is all the time we had for today's episode. We hope you guys
Hope y'all do enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok and Discord, and God bless you for it. And I'll see you next video.